guys, this is Eli McKeg with your Fandom Fight Summer Series Round 3 bracket breakdown. Now, I'm using a different camera and I'm using a different setup right now because, to be honest, all these matches have been coming out, all these tournament matches have been coming out so fast that I haven't had time to watch them because of work and all that, and I want to be able to get this video out for you in enough time as possible. So, we're going to be talking about round 3 tonight, and then talking a little bit about the results, mainly the record side of things and the stat side of things for the round 2 matches. Now, let's start out with the first match of round number 3, which will be determining who is going to be the winner of the Hogsmeade region. And that match is going to be the number 1 seeded Dominic Rizzi versus the number 8 seeded Maggie Bracala. Now, this is going to be a match that's very interesting because you have the undefeated player of Maggie Bracala, who could honestly be in contention for Rookie of the Year, but at the exact same time, you have a big powerhouse in Dominic Rizzi going up against Maggie. Him representing the Kingdom, her representing the Fellowship, two major rivals in this hemisphere. No doubt about it. But let's look at Rizzi's overall record when we look back at Rizzi versus Scully in round number 2. Now, in round 1, Rizzi went 6 out of 10, 60% in the first round against Thomas Scully, who went 5 out of 10, 50%. So we had a good shot there. Dominic also went 5 for 5, 100% on his spin in round 2, not bringing a single question down to multiple choice. However, Thomas Scully went 5 for 5 as well. However, he brought 2 down to multiple choice, also going 100% on his spin. However, the score was 16 to 13 going into round number 3. Then ultimately, in the end, it was round 3 that decided who was going to be the winner, as Dominic Rizzi went 4 out of 5 in round number 3 with only 4 questions asked, and Thomas went 2 out of 5 with only 4 questions asked. And Rizzi bet smart throughout the entire match. He bet 1 point on question 1, he bet 0 points on question 2 and 4. However, he bet 2 points on question 3, wanting to excel his record even more. And Thomas, he had a hard mountain to climb, losing 2 points on question 1, able to get 1 point in question 2 and 2 points on question 3. However, it was question 4 when he bet 2 points and he got it wrong that ended him. Rizzi going 80% in round number 3 and Thomas going 40% in round number 3. Again, Dominic with the final score of 19. Dominic with the final score of 19 and Thomas with the final score of 12 overall. When it comes to accuracy, Dominic got 15 out of those 25 questions correct, getting a 60 out of 100 in overall, and Thomas got 12 out of 25 correct, going 48 out of 100. Again, Rizzi being dominant, his record going up to 7-1, and then again, that's a major player. No one can deny that. And Caleb Coho constantly saying that Dominic Rizzi is going to be the one to beat Robert Parker. I'm very interested to see if that continues on, but we have to wait to see if he can beat Maggie. Now going over to Maggie. Maggie had a tough game against Richard Schwartz, as she got 5 out of 10 correct, going 50% in round number 1. Richard, however, he was able to go 4 out of 10 correct, going 40%. Round 1 ending with Maggie with 5 and Richard with 4. However, it was truly round 2 that determined who was going to be the winner, as Maggie went perfect on her spin, however, bringing 3 down to multiple choice, and she was able to steal 2 out of the 5 questions that Richard had. However, one of them was multiple choice. Again, Maggie going 100% on the spins and stealing 40% on the opponent's turn, whereas Richard was only able to get 60% correct, 3 out of 5 on his spin. However, all of them blocked to multiple choice. Maggie going into round 3 with 15, Richard going into round 3 with only 7 points. However, round 3 was sort of where the dagger was stabbed further into the chest of Richard Schwartz, as Maggie didn't bet any points at all, but only getting 1 question correct, going 20%, and Richard getting 4 out of 5 correct, betting 2 points on question 1, 2, and 4, able to get those 6 points. Able to get those 6 points. He bet no points on question number 3, and it was truly the last question that killed him when he lost 2 points on question number 5. However, he was able to go 80%, and the final score being Maggie with 15 and Richard with 11. when we look at the overall accuracy in that last round, Maggie got 11 out of, they both got 11 out of 25 correct, going 44% out of 100. However, again, Maggie being smart with the betting in round 3, betting 0 the entire time, Maggie continues to go on 4-0 with 1 knockout still, and Richard going down to 2-2. So this is going to be a very interesting match. The Kingdom versus the Fellowship. Dominic with a 7-1 record, Maggie with a 4-0 record, but Maggie has that one knockout that Dominic does not have. Dominic does not have a single knockout in Fandom fights. That means he's been able to push. That means his opponents have been able to push him to the final round, whereas Maggie has been able to knock someone out in round number 2. So it's going to be interesting to see if Dominic Rizzi is going to be able to hold his own against Maggie Bracala, and it's going to be interesting to see if Maggie Bracala can take out a veteran like Dominic Rizzi. Again, I think the conversation needs to be had that Maggie Bracala is needs to be in contention for Rookie of the Year. If she's not being considered for Rookie of the Year, I think that is a shame, and I think that should be changed right now. Anyway, we're going on to our next match for the Nowhere region. It is going to be the number 5 seeded Chris Doman versus the number 13 seeded Kane McMillan. Now, Kane McMillan, coming out of round number 2, had a big round number 2, as he was able to knock out JD West, the number 29 seed, because when we look at the stats just for round number 1, JD got 3 out of 10 correct, going 30%. Kane got 8 out of 10 correct, 8 out of 10 correct, going 80%. Score leaving round number 1 was 3-8. Kane saying that he wanted to go second, so JD went first. He was only able to get 1 out of 5 correct on his spin, but bringing it down to multiple choice, going 20% on his spin, and he was unable to steal any of Kane's questions. There were chances he could, but he was unable to. Now, when we look at Kane's entire run, he was able to steal 4 out of the 5 that JD got incorrect, but 3 of them were brought down to multiple choice, going 80% of the steals, and Kane was able to get 3 out of 5 correct, going 60% on his spin. However, none of them were brought to multiple choice, ending the game in round number 2 with the final score of JD with 4 points and Kane with 19 points. Kane McMillan wins by a knockout. This is his second knockout overall, and this is his second knockout in this tournament. And so when we look at the overall averages, you have JD only getting 4 out of 20 questions that were asked, only able to get 4 out of those 20 correct. So he got 20 out of 100%, and Kane getting 15 of those 20 correct. Again, only 20 questions were asked in this entire game, and Kane going 75% out of 100%. Kane bringing his record up to 4-2 with 2 knockouts, and JD West going down to 2-4 with 1 knockout. And Kane has been a very dominant force in this tournament, if I may say so myself. Again, able to get 2 knockouts, and I think he's someone that could definitely be a threat if Chris Doman is not looking out. But let's look at Chris Doman's match against the number 12 seeded Lucas Schobach. Now, Chris Doman went 6 out of 10, getting 60%, whereas Lucas went 3 out of 10, getting 30%, and Chris leading the charge in round number 1 with 6-3. Now, Chris Doman, he went first, and on his spin, he only got 1 out of 5 correct, and that one was brought to multiple choice. And when on Lucas's spin, whereas on Lucas's spin, Lucas got 2 out of 5 correct, but that was brought to multiple choice. However, on Chris's spin, Lucas was able to steal 2 out of those 5 questions, and they were brought down to multiple choice. Chris Doman going 20% on his spin, Lucas going 40% on his spin, and Lucas also going 40% on his opponent's turn. However, though Lucas got 2 out of those 5 correct, Chris was able to steal the 3 remaining questions that Lucas had, so he was able to go 3 out of 5. He was able to get 3 out of 5 stolen. However, all of them were brought to multiple choice, so he was able to go 60% on steals against Lucas. So the score at the end of round 2 was 10-8 in favor of Chris Doman. And so let's go into the final round number 3, that sort of put a linchpin and ended the match, where Chris going 1 for 5, and with only 4 questions being asked, he got 1 for 5, and Lucas didn't get a single question correct. And you look at Doman and how he went in the game. He lost 1 point in question 1. He lost 2 points on question number 2. And he was able to get 2 points on question 3, and he didn't bet any points on question number 4. Whereas Lucas, he bet no points on question number 1. He lost 2 points on question number 2. And he lost 2 points on question 2 and 4. And he lost 1 point on question 3, going 0%, where Doman was able to go 20%. Again, the final score was Chris Doman with 9, Lucas Schobach with 3. Probably a very low-scoring match for both of these competitors, and I know both of these competitors can do better. So out of the 25 questions, Chris Doman got 11 of them correct, going 44 out of 100%. Lucas only getting 7 correct, going 28% out of 100%. Chris Doman bringing up his record to 4-0, where Lucas Schobach went down to 3-3. However, he still has that 1 knockout. So looking at this match on paper, you would think that Chris Doman was going to win. However, based off of the matches that Kane McMillan has had, the favor is in Kane McMillan, as he was able to knock out both of his previous opponents. So I think Chris Doman really needs to study if he wants to get a win over Kane McMillan. Otherwise, Kane McMillan we could be seeing 3 knockouts from Kane McMillan. But that all depends on how Chris Doman plays. Now, we're going on to the other half of the bracket. In the new bar district, we're going to be seeing the number 2 seeded Sandy Robinson versus the number 10 seeded Tim Bracala. Now, I'm going to mention this right now. There were a lot of technical difficulties with the Sandy Robinson and Nico Gabelli match. So it was unable to be released, and it was deleted. So I do not have any stats on Sandy versus Nico. However, I have their record, with Sandy currently moving into this match against Tim with a record of 5-2, and Nico unfortunately going down to 3-4 after his match with Nico. However, from what I heard, it went down to the last question. It was a hard-fought battle. So that shows that Nico should not be counted out, but also it shows that Sandy can be a decisive winner. However, we're going on now to Tim Bracala's match against Jay Burns, which that match was able to be uploaded. And Jay, coming out of round number 1, was leading against Tim with 7 out of 10, having 70% accuracy, whereas Tim only had 6 out of 10 correct, going with 60% accuracy. Jay leading 7-6 over Tim. Then we go into round number 2. Again, we come out of it, Jay's leading, because Jay was able to get 5 out of 5 correct, not bringing a single one to multiple choice, getting 100% on his spin. None was stolen. And Tim, he went 5 for 5 as well. However, one of them was bought to multiple choice. He went 100% on the spin. Jay leading the pack, leading into round number 3, having the score of 17-15. However, it was round number 3. Again, it's always round number 3 that changes the outcome. So they both got 3 out of 5 correct. They both had this 60% accuracy. However, Jay bet 2 points on question number 1. He bet 1 point on question number 2, and he lost 2 points on question 3 and 4. And he bet 2 points on question number 5. Now, you must be wondering, how did he lose? Well, it's simple. Tim bet 1 point on question 1. He bet 2 points on question 3 and 4. He was able to capitalize, he bet 2 points on question 2 and 3, so he was leading the pack. And he bet 0 points on question 4 and 5. So Jay, unfortunately, getting 18-20 with Tim. Again, it was a hard-fought battle. Tim getting 20 points, Jay getting 18 points. So it easily could have gone Jay's way if the questions were in his favor. Now, looking at accuracy, Jay had 15 out of 25 correct, going 60% out of 100. Whereas Tim, though he bet 0 a lot of it in round number 3, he only got 14 out of 25 correct, going 56% out of 100%. And that makes Tim, because of his victory, puts him at 4-1 with 1 knockout, and Jay, unfortunately, going down to 2-3. But again, after you saw, if you were to see this match, you would see that 2-3 was a hard-fought 2-3 for Jay. And he could have easily won this, bringing Tim down to 4-2, and Jay would go up 3-2. But again, it all depends on the questions in round 3. So Sandy versus Tim. I have seen Sandy play multiple times. That is going to be a very exciting match, and I cannot wait to see the outcome for that match. Now we're going on to the last match of this quarterfinals. There are only 4 matches in the quarterfinals. It is the member from the Montui district. It is the number 11 ranked Eli McKay versus the number 14th ranked Rene Villarreal Jr. This is a match that I'm a part of, but I'm still going to be unbiased. This is a very exciting match that I cannot wait for the audience to see. Now, going into Renee versus Cody, again, the footage was deleted. However, Renee was the winner, and there are no stats available. However, when we look at the record, RJ is going up 4-2, whereas Cody went down 1-2. So Cody had a big victory over Caleb Coho. However, he was defeated by the Red Ranger RJ. But again, I could see a lot of great potential for Cody in the future. If he were to continue to play Fandom singles, he could legitimately be a force to be reckoned with. And I'm very much looking forward to that. Now, we're looking over at Eli's record and his stats when he went up against Albert Ridharma in round number 2. And we have Albert. And Eli was leading coming out of round number 1. Eli going 5 out of 10 with 50%, and Albert going 4 out of 10 with 40%. Eli with 5, Albert with 4. And now we go into round number 2. Crucial, round number 2. Albert went 5 for 5. Only one coming down to multiple choice. And Eli went 5 for 5. However, Eli got 4 down to multiple choice, which was very crucial because Albert had 13 points coming out of round number 2, and Eli had 11 points coming out of round number 2. And again, we come down to that very crucial round number 3. Round number 3 is so far out of the second round the most crucial round in all of this tournament. Albert only got 3 out of 5 correct, and Eli got 5 out of 5 correct. And Albert bet 1 point on question 1, 2, and 4. However, he lost 1 point on question 3 and 5. Those being the crucial things, losing those points. Whereas Eli bet only 1 point in every single question, and he was able to, though he was behind a bit, he was able to maintain a lead, got a lead, and he was able to make sure he kept that lead ahead. Final score being Albert with 15, Eli with 16. I've been noticing something, a common thread, Eli being able to bring all his opponents to the final question and making it a very close race. When we look at the stats, Albert got 12 out of 25 questions correct, going at 48% out of 100%. Eli was able to get 15 out of 25 correct, going 60% out of 100%. Now, this is a big match. This was a big match for Eli by himself. If Eli was able to bring his record up to 5-4, still with that 1 knockout from the very first match at Fandom Fights, and in Multiplex in general. And this was a big, tough defeat for Albert, as he was undefeated going into this match, and now he has 1 loss. He is now 3-1 after this match, and Eli able to continue on into the tournament. So, ladies and gentlemen, to run down the round 3, the quarterfinals of this Fandom Fight Summer Series tournament, in the Hogsmeade region, the final match of the Hogsmeade region, you have the number 1 seed Dominic Rizzi versus number 8 seed Maggie Bacala. In the Nowhere region, the final match of the Nowhere region, you have the number 5 seed Chris Billman versus the number 13th seed Kane McMillan. Going to the other half of the bracket, in the New Bar district, the final match of the New Bar district, you have the number 2 seed number 2 seed Sandy Robinson versus the number 10 seed Tim Bacala. And in the final match of the Montuni district, you have the number 11 seed Eli McKay versus the number 14 seed Rene Villarreal Jr. My goodness, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know about you, but this entire tournament has been a great tournament, and I am very much looking forward to seeing what this tournament is going to look like after the quarterfinals. Those matches should be put up very soon. Maybe by the time, this thing goes up, some of these matches haven't gone up, but most likely a few of the matches, if not all the matches, will have gone up by the time this goes up, which makes this moot. But I'm still doing this because I love doing this for you guys. So thank you so much. Post in the comments down below what you think is going to be happening in the semifinals if they haven't happened yet, or in the quarterfinals if they haven't happened yet. And what are your thoughts on the matches that happened in that too? I'm very curious on your thoughts. Post in the comments down below, like this video, and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more. That being said, I've been MrEliMac, and let the fandoms fight!